The first time Kayla told her parents she was in love with Isaiah, her mother dropped a glass. It shattered on the kitchen floor. Pieces everywhere. Sharp. Glittering. Dangerous. Her father didn't move. Didn't blink. Just stared at Kayla like she'd said something in a language he didn't understand. "Say that again," Marcus Washington said. His voice was quiet. Too quiet. Kayla's hands were shaking, but she kept them still. She'd practiced this. Rehearsed it. Knew it'd be hard. But she hadn't expected silence. Silence was worse than yelling. "I'm in love with Isaiah," she said again. Clearer this time. "Isaiah Bennett, and he loves me. We've been seeing each other for 8 months. And I wanted you to know because we're serious. We're talking about a future." Her mother, Angela, finally moved. She bent down, started picking up the glass. Her hands were shaking too. "You can't be serious." "I am. Kayla. Baby, that's your brother." "He's not my brother." The words hung in the air. Heavy. True. Undeniable. Isaiah Bennett was not Kayla Washington's brother. Not biologically. Not legally. But in every way that had mattered for the past 15 years, he had been family. Because Isaiah's mother, Diana Bennett, was Angela Washington's best friend. Had been since high school, sisters in everything but blood. And when Diana died in a car accident when Isaiah was 12, Angela and Marcus didn't hesitate. They took him in, raised him alongside Kayla, made him part of the family, gave him a home when he had nowhere else to go. Isaiah and Kayla had grown up together. Same house, same dinner table, same rules. He called Marcus and Angela Uncle Marcus and Aunt Angela, but everyone knew what it really meant. They were his parents now, and Kayla was his sister. Except she wasn't. Not anymore. Not in the way that mattered. "When did this start?" Marcus asked. His voice was still too quiet. 8 months ago. 8 months. He repeated it like he was testing the words. "You've been lying to us for 8 months. We weren't lying. We needed time to figure out if it was real. And you decided it was." "Yes." Angela stood up, glass cupped in her hands. She walked to the trash, dropped it in. The sound was loud in the silent kitchen. "Where is he?" "In his room. Get him. Now." Isaiah had been waiting upstairs. He knew this was happening tonight. They decided together. Tell the family. Be honest. Face whatever came next. He'd wanted to be there when Kayla told him, but she'd said no. She needed to do it first, alone, to show them she wasn't being influenced, that this was her choice. Now she walked up the stairs, knocked on his door. He opened it immediately. He'd been sitting on the edge of his bed, waiting, hoping. One look at Kayla's face told him everything. "They're not taking it well," she said. "I didn't think they would. They want to see you." Isaiah nodded. He'd known this was coming. He'd lived in this house for 15 years. He knew Marcus, knew Angela, knew how much they loved Kayla, how protective they were. Knew that him and Kayla, would feel like a betrayal. But he loved her. That was the only truth that mattered. They walked downstairs together, side by side. Not touching, not yet. When they entered the kitchen, Marcus and Angela were sitting at the table, waiting. "Sit," Marcus said. They sat. The silence stretched. Painful. Endless. Finally, Marcus spoke. "Isaiah, you're like a son to me. You know that. I do. I took you in when your mother died. I gave you everything I could. A home, a family, safety, love. I know. And I'm grateful. Every single day. Then how could you do this?" Isaiah's jaw tightened. "I didn't plan it. Neither of us did. It just happened. Nothing just happens. You made a choice. You're right. I did. I chose to tell her how I felt. And she chose to feel the same way. She's your sister." "No," Isaiah said. Firm. Final. "She's not. We grew up together. We love each other as family. But we are not related. We are not siblings. And we are not children anymore. Angela's voice cut through the tension. You're 23 years old. Exactly. I'm an adult. So is Kayla. We're making an adult decision. An adult decision would be to walk away, Angela said. To respect the family that took you in. To understand that some lines shouldn't be crossed. Kayla leaned forward. Mom, please, just listen. I've heard enough. You haven't. You're not listening. You're just reacting. Because what you're telling me is insane. Why? Kayla's voice was rising now. Why is it insane? Because you decided we're siblings? We're not. We never were. Isaiah lived here because his mother died, and you gave him a home. I'm grateful you did, but that doesn't make us blood. That doesn't make this wrong. Marcus stood up. You're both too close to see this clearly. You've been living under the same roof for 15 years. You're confusing proximity with love. I'm not confused, Kayla said. I've loved him for 3 years. I tried to ignore it. I tried to push it away. But it didn't go away. And when I finally told him, he said he'd felt the same thing. For just as long. Isaiah nodded. It's real. Whatever you think this is, it's not infatuation. It's not confusion. It's love. The kind that doesn't go away just because it's inconvenient. Angela looked at them both. Her eyes were wet. You're asking us to accept something we can't accept. We're not asking for acceptance, Kayla said quietly. We're telling you what's happening. Because we respect you. Because we love you. But we're not asking for permission. The words landed like a bomb. Marcus stared at his daughter, at the young man he'd raised. 2 people he loved. 2 people who were breaking something he didn't know how to fix. If you do this, Marcus said slowly, if you go through with this, you're choosing each other over this family. That's not fair, Kayla said. It's the truth. People will talk. Family will judge. Your grandmother will be devastated. And every time we sit at this table, every time we have a holiday, every time we're together, this will be between us. Only if you let it be, Isaiah said. Marcus shook his head. Get out. Isaiah's breath caught. What? Get out of my house. Tonight. If you're going to do this, you're not doing it under my roof. Marcus, Angela started. No, I mean it. If he's choosing this, he's choosing to leave. Kayla stood up. Then I'm leaving too. Sit down, Marcus said. His voice was sharp now. Command, not request. No, if Isaiah goes, I go. Kayla, don't do this. You're the one doing this, Dad. You're the one making us choose. I'm protecting my family. We are your family. The room went silent again. But this silence was different. Broken. Shattered like the glass on the floor. Isaiah stood slowly. I'll pack my things. He walked upstairs. Kayla followed. Angela stayed at the table, crying. Marcus stood by the window, staring out at nothing. 30 minutes later, Isaiah and Kayla walked out the front door. 2 bags each. Everything they owned that mattered. They didn't look back. If they had, they would have seen Angela standing in the doorway, watching them leave, crying. But they didn't look back. They couldn't. They stayed with Isaiah's friend Derek for the first 2 weeks, sleeping on a couch, sharing space, figuring out what came next. Kayla had a job at a marketing firm. Isaiah worked in IT. They pooled their money, found a small apartment. 1 bedroom, barely big enough, but it was theirs. Derek had been supportive, but even he had questions. Man, I don't get it, he said one night. They were in the kitchen. Kayla was asleep on the couch. You had a family, a good one. Why risk it? Isaiah looked at his friend. You ever been in love? Yeah, couple times. Did you choose it? Or did it just happen? Derek thought about it. It just happened. Exactly. That's what this is. I didn't wake up one day and decide to fall in love with Kayla. It just happened. Over years. Slowly. And by the time I realized it, it was already too late to stop it. So what happened? I graduated college. Got a job. Started building a life. And I realized I was building it alone because the only person I wanted to share it with was Kayla. So I told her, and she said she felt the same way. And that was it. Derek nodded slowly. Your parents are good people, man. They took you in, gave you everything. I know. So how do you live with hurting them like this? Isaiah's jaw tightened. I don't know, but I can't live without her either. So I'm choosing the pain I can survive. The first night in their new place, they sat on the floor. No furniture yet. Just boxes. And each other. Do you regret it? Isaiah asked. Kayla looked at him. No. Do you? No. We'll get through this. I know. But it was harder than they expected. Isaiah couldn't sleep the first week. He'd lie awake at night staring at the ceiling, thinking about Marcus. About the man who'd taught him to drive, who'd helped him with college applications, who'd sat him down after his first breakup and told him that heartbreak was just proof you loved someone enough to risk it. That man had thrown him out, and Isaiah understood why. He did. If he were in Marcus's position, he might have done the same thing. But understanding didn't make it hurt less. You're thinking about them again, Kayla said one night. She was lying beside him in the dark. Yeah, they'll come around. Will they? They have to. Eventually. What if they don't? Kayla was quiet for a long time. Then we build our own family. Isaiah rolled over to look at her. Just us? Just us. He kissed her. Soft, grateful. I love you. I know. Kayla's grandmother, Lorraine, called her 2 days after they moved out. You've broken your father's heart. He broke mine first. By asking you to do the right thing? By treating Isaiah like a stranger. By acting like love is something you can just turn off. This isn't love, baby. This is confusion. Why does everyone keep saying that? Because it's true. You've known this boy your whole life. You're comfortable with him. That's not the same as romantic love. Grandma, I love him. I know the difference. Lorraine was quiet for a long time. Then, if you marry him, I won't be there. The call ended. Kayla stared at her phone. She didn't cry. She'd cried enough. She just felt tired. So tired. But they kept going. Months passed. They built a life, small, quiet, away from family, away from judgment. They worked. They came home. They cooked dinner together. They watched movies. They fell asleep holding each other and woke up grateful. It should have been enough. It almost was. Until a letter arrived. It came on a Tuesday. Thin envelope, handwritten address, no return label. Kayla opened it at the kitchen table while Isaiah was at work. Inside was a single piece of paper. Handwritten, the handwriting was shaky, old. Kayla, there's something you need to know. Something I should have told you years ago. Meet me at Riverside Park, Thursday at 3 p.m. Come alone. This is about your family, about the truth. Aunt Claire, Angela's older sister, the one who lived in California, the one Kayla had seen maybe 5 times in her entire life, the one who never called, never visited. Why was she in town? Why now? Kayla showed Isaiah the letter when he got home. You're going? He asked. I have to. Then I'm coming with you. It says come alone. I don't care. If this is some kind of ambush, it's not. It's Aunt Claire. She's 70 years old. Then why does she want you alone? Kayla didn't have an answer. Thursday at 3 p.m., Kayla stood at the entrance to Riverside Park. Isaiah waited in the car 2 blocks away. Close enough to help if she needed it. Far enough to give her space. Aunt Claire was already there, sitting on a bench by the water. Gray hair, thin frame. She looked older than Kayla remembered. Aunt Claire, the woman looked up, smiled, tired. Kayla, thank you for coming. Kayla sat down. Your letter said this was about family. It is. What's going on? Claire took a breath. Let it out slowly. I came as soon as I heard about you and Isaiah. About what happened with your parents. How did you hear? Your grandmother called me. She's worried. Everyone is. I'm fine. Are you? Kayla didn't answer. Claire looked out at the water. Your mother and I don't talk much. We haven't for years. There was a falling out. A long time ago. Over something I said. Something she didn't want to hear. What did you say? Claire turned to look at Kayla. Her eyes were serious, sad. I told her she needed to tell you the truth about who you are. Kayla's chest tightened. What are you talking about? You're not Angela's biological daughter. The world tilted. What? Angela can't have children. She tried for years. It broke her. Broke Marcus too. And then, one day, she came home with you, a newborn. She said you were hers. She made Marcus go along with it. She told everyone it was a home birth. Private. No hospital. No records. Just family. Kayla couldn't breathe. That's not true. It is. I was there. I knew. And I told her she needed to tell you, that you deserved to know. She refused. She said you were hers, that biology didn't matter. And maybe she was right. But the truth still matters. Where did I come from? Claire hesitated. I don't know the full story. Angela never told me. All I know is that she came home with you one day. And you've been her daughter ever since. Kayla stood up. Her legs felt weak. Why are you telling me this now? Because you're with Isaiah. And your family is treating you like you've committed some unforgivable sin. But the real sin is the lie they've been living. The lie they forced you to live. Does Isaiah know? I don't know. But you should ask your mother. She owes you the truth. Kayla walked back to the car in a daze. Isaiah took one look at her face and knew something was wrong. What happened? Take me to my parents' house. Kayla, now, please. They drove in silence. When they pulled up to the house, Kayla got out without a word. Isaiah followed. She didn't knock. She walked in. Her parents were in the living room. They looked up, surprised. Kayla, Angela said, standing, hopeful. Am I adopted? Angela froze. Answer me. Am I your biological daughter? Marcus stood too. Who told you? It doesn't matter. Is it true? Angela's face crumpled. Kayla, just answer the question. No, you're not my biological daughter, but you are my daughter. In every way that matters. Kayla felt like she was falling. Isaiah was behind her, his hand on her back. The only solid thing. Who am I? Kayla asked. Her voice was breaking. Where did I come from? Angela looked at Marcus. He nodded. Your biological mother was my younger sister, Camille. Kayla's breath caught. And Camille? The one who died? Yes. She got pregnant when she was 17. She couldn't take care of you. She was struggling, addicted, lost. She asked me to take you, to raise you as mine. And I did, gladly. Why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't want you to feel different. I didn't want you to think you were anything other than my daughter. But I was different. I am different. No, you're not. Yes, I am. Kayla was crying now. You lied to me my entire life. You made me think I was someone I'm not. I made you my daughter. That's not a lie. It is if everyone else knows except me. Angela stepped forward. Not everyone knows. Just Marcus. And Claire. And my mother. That's it. Everyone else believes you're mine. And Isaiah? What about him? Kayla turned to look at Isaiah. He was standing there, silent, watching. And suddenly, she understood. You knew, she said. Isaiah's expression confirmed it. You knew? Not until recently. Your grandmother told me. 2 months ago. She thought it would make me see reason. Make me walk away. And you didn't tell me? I didn't know if it was true. And I didn't want to hurt you. Kayla stepped back, away from him, away from all of them. Everyone knew except me. We were trying to protect you, Angela said. From what? The truth? From feeling like you didn't belong. I don't belong. That's the point. I've been living a lie my entire life. She turned and walked out, down the steps, into the street. Isaiah followed, but she held up a hand. Don't Not right now. Kayla, please, I need space. From all of you? She kept walking. Isaiah watched her go, knowing that if he followed, he'd make it worse. So he stood there, in the street, outside the house where they'd both grown up. And he felt something break that he didn't know how to fix. Kayla walked for hours, through the neighborhood, past the park, past the school, past every place that held a memory. And all of it felt different now, like she was walking through someone else's life. When she finally stopped, she was at the cemetery. She found Camille's grave, her real mother, the one she'd never known, the one who died of an overdose when Kayla was 5. She'd been to this grave before, as a child. Angela had brought her, told her that Aunt Camille was watching over her from heaven, but she'd never told her the truth. Kayla sat down in the grass, stared at the headstone. Why didn't you keep me? No answer, just wind. Her phone buzzed, a text from Isaiah. I'm sorry. I should have told you. I love you. Please come home. Home. She didn't even know what that meant anymore. She stayed at the cemetery until the sun went down. Then she got up, walked back. Not to the apartment, to her parents' house. Angela answered the door, eyes red from crying. Baby, I need to know everything, Kayla said. All of it. No more secrets. They sat in the living room, Marcus, Angela, and for the first time in 23 years, they told her the truth. Camille had gotten pregnant at 17. The father was gone. Camille was using. Angela and Marcus had been trying for a baby for years. When Camille asked them to take the baby, they said yes. They'd planned to adopt officially, but Camille died before the paperwork was finished. And by then, Kayla was theirs, in their hearts, in their home. So they kept the secret, raised her, loved her. But there was more. Angela told her about the years before Kayla, about 7 failed pregnancies, about doctors who said it would never happen, about the depression that followed, about how she'd watched her younger sister spiral into addiction and felt helpless to stop it. When Camille called me, Angela said, her voice breaking, when she said she was pregnant and couldn't take care of the baby, I saw it as a miracle, not just for me, for her too. She was clean at the time, trying. She wanted to give her baby a better life than she could provide. And I wanted to give her baby the love I'd been storing up for years. Kayla listened, silent, trying to process. You were born at home, Angela continued. Camille insisted. No hospital, no records. Just me and a midwife. And when you came into this world, crying and perfect, I held you and I knew you were mine. Not because I gave birth to you, because I chose you and you chose me. How did I choose you? Kayla asked. I was a baby. You stopped crying the moment I held you. You looked at me, and I swear, you saw me, really saw me. And from that moment, you were my daughter. Marcus spoke up. We were going to tell you, when you were older, when you could understand. But then Camille died. Overdose. 6 weeks after you were born. And telling you after that felt cruel. Like we were taking away the only family you had. But you took away the truth, Kayla said. We did. And I'm sorry. Kayla looked at her parents. At the pain in their faces. The regret. The love. It was all there. Complicated. Messy. Human. I don't know how to feel about this, she said honestly. Neither do we, Angela admitted. They sat in silence. Not comfortable, but necessary. Finally, Marcus said, What about Isaiah? Kayla met his eyes. What about him? Do you still love him? Even after all this? More, because he stayed. When everyone else was judging us, he stayed. And you think that's enough? I think love is the only thing that's ever enough. Marcus looked at her for a long time. Then he nodded, slow, reluctant, but real. I know it was wrong not to tell you, Angela said. But I was terrified. Terrified you'd feel like you weren't really mine. Terrified you'd go looking for your father. Terrified you'd see yourself as broken. I'm not broken, Kayla said quietly. Strong, certain, not the little girl he'd carried on his shoulders. I don't know if I can accept it, he said honestly. I don't know if I ever will, but I love you, and I don't want to lose you. Then don't make me choose. I don't know how to do both. Angela reached out, took Kayla's hand. Maybe we all need time to process, to figure out what comes next. Kayla nodded. Okay, time. She stood, walked to the door, turned back. I love you, both of you, but I love him too. And I'm not giving that up. She left. 6 months later, Isaiah and Kayla were still together. Still living in their small apartment. Still building a life. The family was slowly coming around. Angela called once a week. Marcus called less often, but he called. Grandma Lorraine had softened. Not much, but enough. And then Kayla got another letter. This one wasn't from Aunt Claire. It was from a lawyer. Dear Ms. Washington, I represent the estate of David Morrison, deceased. Mr. Morrison has left specific instructions regarding you in his will. Please contact our office to schedule a meeting. This is a matter of inheritance, Kayla showed Isaiah. Who is David Morrison? Isaiah searched the name. Found an obituary. He died 3 weeks ago. 74 years old. Worked in construction. Lived in Ohio. I don't know anyone in Ohio. Maybe it's a mistake, but it wasn't. The meeting was the following week. Kayla went alone. The lawyer was professional, efficient. He handed her a folder. Mr. Morrison left you his estate. It's not large, a house, some savings. About $200,000 total. Kayla stared. Why? He left a letter. It explains. Kayla opened the letter with shaking hands. Kayla, you don't know me, but I've known about you your whole life. I'm your biological father. I got your mother pregnant when I was 19. I was a coward. I left. I didn't help. I didn't try. And I've regretted it every single day since. I followed your life from a distance. Through Camille, before she died. Through private investigators after that. I know that sounds creepy. Maybe it was. But I needed to know you were okay. That you were safe. That you were loved. And you were. Angela and Marcus gave you everything I couldn't. I know I don't deserve forgiveness. I'm not asking for it. But I wanted you to know that I thought about you. Every birthday. Every holiday. Every milestone I wasn't there for. I watched you graduate high school from the back of the auditorium. I saw you walk across that stage, and I cried like a child. Because you were brilliant, beautiful, everything good that could come from something broken. I never reached out because I didn't want to disrupt your life. I didn't want to be the ghost that haunted you. But I'm dying now. Cancer. Stage 4. And I wanted you to have something, not to make up for what I didn't do. Nothing could do that, but to help you build the life you want. The house in Ohio is paid off. You can sell it, keep it, whatever you need. The money is yours. No strings, no expectations. I'm sorry I couldn't be the father you deserved, but maybe this can help you build the life you want. You're not broken. You're not a mistake. You're the best thing I ever had a hand in creating. Even if I wasn't brave enough to admit it while I was alive. I love you. I always have. Even if I never had the courage to tell you. David Morrison. Kayla read it 3 times. Then she cried. Not sad tears, not angry tears. Just tears. Release. She sat in that office for 30 minutes. The lawyer left her alone, gave her space. When she finally composed herself, she asked a question. Did he have other family? No. His wife died 10 years ago. They never had children. So I was it. Yes, ma'am, you were it. Kayla looked down at the letter again. At the handwriting. At the words written by a man she'd never met but who loved her from a distance for 23 years. Can I see the house? The lawyer nodded. I can arrange that. 2 days later, Kayla and Isaiah drove to Ohio. 3 hours. Quiet roads. Small towns. They didn't talk much. Just held hands across the center console. The house was in a quiet neighborhood. Modest. Well-maintained. Blue siding. White trim. A small porch with a swing. Inside it was clean. Simple. Photos on the walls. And in every single one, somewhere in the background or the corner or carefully cropped at the edge, was Kayla. Her high school graduation. Her first day of college. Her standing outside her apartment building, talking on the phone. Candid shots. Taken from a distance. By a man who'd watched his daughter grow up, but never had the courage to say hello. Isaiah found her standing in the living room, staring at the photos, crying. He was there, she whispered. All those years. He was watching. I know. Why didn't he just talk to me? Why didn't he try? I don't know. Fear, maybe. Shame. The belief that you were better off without him. But I deserve to know. You did. She turned to look at Isaiah. Everyone kept secrets. Everyone thought they were protecting me. Isaiah pulled her close. You deserved everything. You still do. They stayed in that house for 3 hours, looking through every room, every closet, every piece of a life that had revolved around a daughter David Morrison had never spoken to. In his bedroom, Kayla found a journal. The last entry was dated 2 weeks before he died. Kayla's getting married. I saw the announcement online. She's marrying the boy she grew up with. The one her family tried to keep her from. Good for her. She's choosing love over fear. I wish I'd been brave enough to do the same. Maybe if I had, I could have known her. But I made my choice 23 years ago, and I have to live with it. Or die with it. Either way, I hope she's happy. That's all I ever wanted. For her to be happy. Kayla closed the journal, held it against her chest, and felt something settle inside her that had been restless her entire life. She wasn't a mistake. She wasn't broken. She was loved. By people who'd never said it out loud. By a man who'd watched from the shadows. By parents who'd lied to protect her. By a man who'd stood beside her when everyone else walked away. She was loved, imperfectly, messily, but completely. She called Isaiah. I found him. Found who? My father. He's dead. But I found him. That night, they drove to her parents' house. Together. Walked in without knocking. Sat at the kitchen table. And Kayla told them everything. When she finished, Marcus said, "What are you going to do with the money?" "I don't know yet. But I know what I want to do with my life." "What's that?" She looked at Isaiah, then at her parents. "I want to marry him. And I want you there, both of you, because you're my family. And he's my family. And I'm done choosing." Angela looked at Marcus. He looked at Kayla, at Isaiah, at the two people who loved each other despite everything. Finally, he nodded. Okay. It's not going to be easy. People will talk. Family will judge. But you're right. You're an adult. And if this is what you want, we're not going to stand in the way. Angela reached across the table, took Kayla's hand, took Isaiah's hand. We love you both. We always have. We just needed time to see it clearly. The wedding was small. Family only. Well, family and a few close friends. They got married in the same church where Camille's funeral had been held. It felt right. Full circle. Grandma Lorraine came. She didn't smile much, but she came. Aunt Claire came from California. Marcus walked Kayla down the aisle. When he handed her to Isaiah, he whispered, "Take care of her." I know. Do you forgive me? Kayla thought about it. I'm working on it, but I love you. And that's enough for now. Angela hugged her daughter, tight, like she was afraid to let go. Later, Kayla and Isaiah stood on the church steps, married, together, against all odds. "We did it," Kayla said. "We did. Think it gets easier from here?" Isaiah laughed. "Probably not. But we'll figure it out. Together. Together." They walked down the steps, into the rest of their lives. Two people who'd been told they couldn't love each other, who'd been made to feel ashamed, who'd lost family and found it again in ways they never expected. The truth had been messy, painful, complicated, but it had also set them free. And that was enough. 5 years later, they stood in the living room of the house in Ohio, David Morrison's house, their house now. They'd moved in 2 years after the wedding, sold the apartment in the city, started fresh. The house was different now, warmer, filled with their things, their memories, their life. Kayla was pregnant, 7 months. A girl. They'd already picked the name, Camille, after her mother, the one she'd never known, but who'd given her life twice. Isaiah was in the kitchen, cooking dinner. Kayla was on the couch, feet up, watching him through the doorway. "You're staring," he called out. "I like watching you cook. That's not creepy at all." She laughed. "Come here." He walked over, sat beside her, put his hand on her belly, felt the baby kick. "She's active today," he said. "She's always active. Takes after you. Or you. Definitely you." They sat there, quiet, content. "Do you ever think about how different things could have been?" Kayla asked. "Sometimes. Why? If we hadn't told our parents, if we just kept it secret, would we be here?" Isaiah thought about it. Maybe, but we'd always be hiding, always looking over our shoulders. This is better. Harder, but better. "Yeah, it is." Her phone buzzed. A text from Angela. "On our way. ETA 20 minutes. Can't wait to see you both." Marcus and Angela visited once a month. They'd come for the baby shower, for Christmas, for every milestone. Grandparents now, proud, supportive, present. The doorbell rang. Early. Isaiah got up to answer it. When he opened the door, his breath caught. It was Diana's mother, Isaiah's grandmother. He hadn't seen her since his mother's funeral, hadn't spoken to her in 15 years. Grandma? She was older, frailer, but her eyes were the same. "Hello, Isaiah. What are you doing here?" "Angela called me, told me about the baby, asked if I wanted to meet my great-granddaughter when she arrived." Isaiah didn't know what to say. "I know I wasn't there." His grandmother continued. "After your mother died, I couldn't handle it, lost my daughter, and disappeared into my grief. Left you alone. That was wrong. It's okay. No, it's not. But I'm here now. If you'll have me." Isaiah looked back at Kayla. She nodded, encouraging. He opened the door wider. "Come in." They sat together. 3 generations. Talking, sharing, healing. When Marcus and Angela arrived 20 minutes later, the house was full. Full of family. Full of laughter. Full of the kind of love that doesn't come easy, but lasts forever when you fight for it. That night, after everyone had gone home, Kayla and Isaiah lay in bed, baby kicking between them. "I think we're going to be okay," Kayla said. "I know we are." "How do you know?" "Because we've already survived the hard part. Everything else is just showing up." Kayla smiled, closed her eyes, felt Isaiah's hand on her belly, felt their daughter moving, felt the weight of their history and the lightness of their future. They'd been told they couldn't love each other. They'd been told it was wrong. They'd been told it would destroy their family. But they'd loved anyway. And their family had grown around that love. Bent, stretched, but never broken. Because love, real love, doesn't follow rules. It doesn't ask permission. It just exists. And when you fight for it, when you protect it, when you choose it every single day, it becomes the foundation for everything else. Kayla and Isaiah had built that foundation, brick by brick, tier by tier, choice by choice. And on that foundation, they built a life worth living.